The drama that unfolds behind the scenes of America's Got Talent often rivals the performances of the contestants. The show, known for its large-scale productions, outrageous acts, and dramatic moments, also has its fair share of backstage tension. One of the most entertaining and somewhat shocking episodes of tension came when Howie Mandel, the longtime judge, threatened to go to HR after a confrontation with fellow judge Simon Cowell. The cause of the drama? Simon nearly stealing Howie's act on stage. It all began during the 2025 season of AGT, a time when the chemistry between the judges was as strong as ever. Howie Mandel, known for his sharp wit, humor, and larger-than-life personality, was a staple on the panel. Alongside him, Simon Cowell, the show's creator and notoriously tough critic, had once again cemented his position as the show's most dominant figure. But the balance between the two judges was about to be tested when Simon took it upon himself to borrow Howie's signature comedic bit for himself. The incident happened during the live shows. The theme for the evening was comedy, and as usual, Howie was ready to inject some humor into the night. Howie had been known for doing impromptu comedy skits and jokes with the contestants, keeping the mood light and entertaining for the live audience. One of Howie's signature acts was a playful bit where he would pretend to be completely stunned by a contestant's performance, only to go into an exaggerated, almost cartoonish act of either shock or confusion, often pulling ridiculous props out from under the desk to add to the fun. In one particular instance, Howie had just wrapped up a hilarious interaction with a contestant, taking out a giant inflatable banana as part of his act. The audience was in stitches, and Howie could barely keep his composure, laughing alongside the crowd. It was a moment everyone remembered, Howie being Howie, totally comfortable in his role as the comedic relief. But Simon, ever the opportunist, saw Howie's success and decided that the bit might be a perfect way to spice up his own moment. In the following round, Simon, with his trademark smirk, pulled out a comically oversized teddy bear from underneath his desk, mimicking Howie's gag. The audience was caught off guard, not knowing whether it was an unscripted moment or a direct homage to Howie's earlier act. But for those who knew the dynamic between the two judges, it was clear Simon was trying to steal the show and, perhaps more importantly, steal Howie's comedic bit. Howie, ever the professional, initially laughed it off. But behind the smile, he wasn't amused. He had worked hard to carve out his niche on the panel, and for Simon to openly copy his act felt like a blatant disrespect for his creative contributions. As the taping of the show continued, the tension began to build. Howie's playful nature was starting to fray around the edges. Finally, when the segment ended, he couldn't hold back anymore. "You can't just take my act," Howie shouted at Simon in front of the crew and the other judges. "What is this, a high school talent show? We have $1 million production going on, and you're just going to steal my joke." Simon, ever the calm and collected figure, tried to play it off. He shrugged nonchalantly and smirked. It was a tribute. "A little homage to your amazing comedic timing, Howie. Relax." But Howie wasn't having it. "It's not funny. You can't just take someone's bit and act like it's yours. That's plagiarism." The exchange quickly escalated into a full-blown confrontation. Howie, clearly frustrated, shot back. "You know what? I'm gonna go to HR about this. This isn't just some joke. I'm here to do my job, and if someone is going to take my act without even asking, I'm not letting it slide." The other judges, including Heidi Klum and Sofia Vergara, were stunned. They knew Howie and Simon had a long history of banter and playful rivalry, but this was different. Howie wasn't joking anymore. The producers, sensing the rising tension, quickly stepped in, trying to calm the situation down before it got out of hand. The last thing they wanted was a full-on feud between the judges, especially with the cameras rolling. "I didn't mean to upset you, Howie," Simon said, his usual smugness fading slightly. "It was all in good fun." But Howie wasn't backing down. "You've been doing this for years, Simon. Every time I come up with something good, you try to one-up me or take credit for it." "Well, not this time." The two went back and forth for a few more moments, the tension palpable. Eventually, Howie walked off set, visibly irritated. "I'm not going to work with someone who doesn't respect me," he muttered, more to himself than anyone else. As Howie stepped off stage, the rest of the judges were left to digest the situation. While Heidi and Sophia tried to break the tension with lighthearted jokes, it was clear the incident wasn't something that would be forgotten easily. Behind the scenes, the AGT crew was buzzing. Word spread quickly about the confrontation between Howie and Simon, and discussions began about how to handle the fallout. HR was notified, and Howie's concerns were officially logged. A meeting was arranged to smooth things over, with the promise that the incident would be addressed seriously. In the days that followed, Howie and Simon did speak privately, away from the cameras. Simon reportedly apologized for his actions, acknowledging that he had crossed a line by imitating Howie's act without permission. Howie, being Howie, wasn't one to hold grudges for long. The two came to an understanding, with Simon agreeing to avoid taking Howie's comedy material without prior discussion. Still, the tension between the two judges lingered, even after the cameras stopped rolling. For Howie, this wasn't just about an isolated incident. It was a symbol of a larger issue he had been quietly dealing with for years. As a seasoned comedian, he had seen firsthand how often his contributions were overlooked or taken for granted. And in this case, Simon's casual attitude toward his creative property felt like a sign of disrespect. For Simon, the incident was a reminder that even he wasn't immune to criticism. While he often played the role of the untouchable figure on AGT, this confrontation with Howie showed that there were limits to his power. He couldn't just get away with doing whatever he pleased, even if he was the star of the show. The moment revealed the underlying dynamics of the AGT panel, a place where the judges, for all their chemistry and camaraderie, also fought for control over the direction of the show. In the aftermath, the audience could sense the tension when watching the AGT episodes that followed. There was an undeniable edge to Howie's comments, a slight coolness to his interactions with Simon. While the two continued to work together, the incident was a reminder that even the most experienced TV personalities aren't immune to the kind of backstage drama that can shape a show. As for AGT, the situation eventually calmed down, but it served as an important lesson about boundaries and respect in a high-stakes environment. Whether it's a simple joke or a grand production, everyone's contributions deserve recognition. After all, even in the world of AGT, the show must go on, but so must the respect between its stars.